Welcome to Rat Trap Garage. Today is the first video I'm going to be making about my 97 short bed regular cab Chevy that we're working on. We're bagging it, laying her out. Going to be sick. But today I'm going to go over how I did the tie rod notches. To get these trucks to fully lay out, you have to notch the frame so the tie rods can angle up and lay your shit out. And everything and anything I do in this video might not be the right way. Might not be the best way, but it's the way that I did it. So take that with a grain of salt. Let me show you this side. Well, here we are on the driver's side of the truck. I have you can see here, I got the DJM 2-inch drop spindles, stone fab upper and lower control arms. I went with the Slam Specialties SS7 bags. I went with these. They're a little more pricey, but they don't balloon out. You know what I mean? So fully compressed, fully inflated, they stay that same size, which you see is what you get. So you can do a lot of your test fitting without it being fully compressed, fully inflated. I obviously like to compress everything, make sure everything, I have a finger gap all the way around so we're not getting any punctures or anything like that down the road. I have removed the inner fenders on this truck because I don't want that to be hidden when I lay out. Going to be getting rid of the ABS. Brakes in this truck are notoriously shitty anyway, so I'm going to get rid of the ABS, put a PV4 proportioning valve in, and the NBS master cylinder. So we'll be doing that in another video coming out. I think that shows up this week. But today's problem is this right here. So this is on my tie rod, obviously, and I have the jack underneath my lower control arm compressing the bag, and we're hitting. We're hitting right there, brother. So we got to cut this out, notch it in or notch it out, put a piece of pipe in there, and it'll be good. So this truck can fully lay out. What's the point of bagging something that ain't fully laid out? You know what I'm saying? I'll take you to the passenger side of the truck to show you what I did over there. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So here we are on the passenger side of the truck, which is basically done, minus putting a shock mount in. I haven't decided if I'm running shocks on front of this yet. I don't know. It's like I said, it's my first bag vehicle. I don't know how important it is, but we'll probably end up doing it, so we make a video out of it. But here we are. So I should have started making these videos when I first started this truck, but I didn't. So I'm going to try to get you guys caught up as much as I can on what I did and how I got to this point of where I'm at. So here is the cutout for the bag, right? Obviously, you're taking this truck apart, you have a big ass spring right here. You take that out, fit the bag up, make a couple marks, start cutting. Start small. It's way easier to put or to take metal out than to put metal back in. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out until you have a 2-finger gap all the way around your bag. When you get to the back side of this spring pocket, the frame is going to split open. So there's like a seam of when I don't know how they made it, but there's fucking 2 seams of metal, and you'll get back here once you get it all ground out. So what I did, I ground it all the way back there so this is smooth with your lower control arm bracketry mount thing. And then I welded a bead in and then smoothed it out again. So now I have this fully welded in, smoothed out, everything smoothed out, no sharp edges. Run my handle on there. Nothing's cutting me. But what we're doing today is this guy, the old tie rod notch. So we're doing this on the driver's side today. Yeah, so what I did. Put my tie rod in there, laid everything out, marked it all up, cut it out, put in a piece of, I think it was a 3-inch piece of pipe in there, welded it all in, made it all pretty. Nice and smooth. Like I said, I'm not a fabricator. It's my first time bagging a vehicle. It's probably not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works for me. And eventually, I don't know if I said this already, but we're going to be painting all this. I'm going to be doing headers and exhaust because this is going to be a problem when you try to lay the truck out. I want this thing on the ground and that's going to hit. So let's start on the other side. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is take this this is 3-inch OD pipe I just checked, obviously cut in half. I have to cut it another time too, but I'm going to get under here. You can already see where the tie rod lays on the frame. I'm going to put this up there, give us a rough estimate of where we need to cut. Let's see. That looks about centered to me. We're going to go all the way over to here. And all the way over to here. So that'll make it so this piece of pipe slides right on up there. And I'm going to take this and do something like that. That is not a good circle, but you get the idea. I'm going to use a cutoff wheel down here underneath. And then I got my dad's plasma cutter I'm borrowing from him to cut the half circle up there. Let's get to it. Sorry, I didn't realize how terrible that angle was when you guys were over there. So here it is. This is my shitty half circle fucking thing on the side of the frame, which I'm going to hit this side with a plasma. Borrowing that from my Pops. Shout out to Pops. Underneath, we're going to hit this with a cutoff wheel, and you'll see where I cut on the other side, it ends kind of like right here, and then the frame is, you'll see, it's kind of hard to explain. After I open it up, you'll see. I wonder if you can see in there. No. I'll get this cut out, and then I'll show you guys what we're working with, because I basically want to get up to here, and then it's going to be, the pipe's going to be angled up this way at like, I don't know, 45-degree angle. Weld it in, and then we'll be done. Then I can show you what I meant on the other side when the frame splits, because I'm going to grind this back. This needs to get flush with here. So I'm going to grind this back, weld a bead into here, and then I think I got to cut a little more out of here where the bag was getting close to rubbing. So cut all that out, and I'll show you guys. Oh, and also your control arm bracket, lower control arm bracket, this was hitting the lower control arm as well. So I cut some of this out, and I'm going to cut even more out of it to make it so that doesn't bind up when she's laid out. Okay, let's get to cutting. Okay, got you guys on a different angle. I don't have my mic set up, so I'm sorry it's a little quiet. I didn't want to have to run the mic while I'm grinding. It's going to be a little too loud, so just got safety gear on, ear pro, eye pro, check. Let's hit it. Okay, I've got the bottom cut out. Now, we need to take the old plasma, do a little whoop-de-whoop. Let's do that. Okay, so we got the plasma all set up. I got my half circle marked out. I know I probably could have used the plasma underneath, but they fucking scares me, dude. She's powerful. It's the Miller Spectrum 375 Extreme. Like I said, I'm borrowing from my Pops, because doing this tight little circle with a 4.5 inch cutoff wheel or whatever is not ideal. So, gonna give this a quick little burn and see what we got. Oh shit, I need my stunner shades. Sheesh. What? There she goes. This little safety, I thought it was like this. Nope, you gotta go like that, and then, haha. Okay. Not perfect, but that's what they make grinders for. Okay, got that knocked out. Now we're gonna go to town with a little flappy disc action. Get this all cleaned up, get that piece of pipe fit in there, and then I'll mark on the outside where I'll take it to my vise, cut it up, and then burn her in. All right, plug your ears. Dead battery again. Be back. I don't know if you guys ever seen with these little quick release from, I think it's Benchmark Abrasives. It just tightens on by hand, takes out, you can take it off by hand. Clutch. I have a little piece of filling back there. I kind of like it. And I'll mark this thing up. Yeah. Okay, so before I weld that notch in, I just want to double check my clearances, or because it'd be pointless to make this notch spend all this time if it's just going to rub some more. So threw the front suspension back on real quick, just all hand tight, everything kind of loosey goosey. Threw the hub on, wheel bearings in there, yada yada yada. Obviously, you have the jack underneath it. She's up as high as she can go. You can see my control arms hitting the frame over here, and the tie rod is no longer hitting the frame. So gonna weld that little piece of, cut the piece of pipe down, weld her in, and we should be good. I'm gonna throw the wheel on real quick just to give us a little visual. So let's try that. Okay, there she is with the wheel mocked up. She's looking good. I am running into a bit of an issue in here. The tire is hitting the fender right there, so I'm gonna cut that out or add some camber down there. But these are temporary wheels anyway, so once I get my final set, I'm just looking for some like 90s billets, billet specialties, Boyd, something like that, center lines. But these should look good temporarily, you know what I'm saying? Fully compressed. Now, check down here. Oh yeah, we are good. No clearance issues. So I can weld that in and know that I'm good to go. So let's take all this apart again and then weld that piece in, shall we? Okay, so I got the notch all marked out where I want to cut it. Got it in my vise. Now it's time to do some cutting. Safety first, my boys. Okay, so I just got the notch tacked in there. I'm gonna burn at least the front on real quick. I'm gonna have to make a couple little pieces for underneath here. Then we go to Grind City. Like I said, I'm more of a grinder than I am a welder, so bear with me here. Okay, we've got her all welded in. Now it's time for a grinder party because I am not the best welder in the world. I'll tell you that right now. So we'll be using this tool for the next fucking 7 hours. See you later. We are back in the garage. Coming to the realization that working on the truck while making videos makes everything take about 10 times longer than it should. I was out here for 8 to 9 hours just doing this notch, trying to film and work on the truck at the same time. It's time consuming. So back out here for day 2, I'm going to finish up the notch on the driver's side, and I'll show you how to cut and weld in that seam that I was talking about. Disclaimer. After watching the videos that I made yesterday and editing them and all that shit last night, I'm not a fabricator. I didn't prep that frame spot where I welded the notch. Step 1, fucked that up. 2, didn't have my welder set up properly because I was in a rush to make the video. My family was coming home, I wanted to spend time with them. So that wasn't right. It was way too cold. The wire speed was way too fast. So today we're going to slow down, do everything right, so I'm not sitting out here for another 8 hours grinding metal away. While we're on the topic of fabrication or welding, just here's my little quick 2 cents. You don't need to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a welding setup. About this Art Captain MiG 200, I think it was 300 bucks. Comes with literally everything you need. I bought the Harbor Freight cart, bottle of shielding gas, and a regulator. I think I'm like 400 bucks into this setup, and it's been working great for what I need it for. To work on the frame so far, it's going to do the whole 3-link setup in the back. Goes off 110. I have it wired into 220. Yeah, she works great. So 400 bucks. Just give it a shot. I've been grinding for the past 17 hours straight. Not that long, but we're going to need to brush up on our welding skills and techniques before we tackle that 3-link in the back. Let me tell you what. But we do got the notch in. Let me show you that. Notch is in. Tie rod can come right into here. And this truck can, lay on the ground. You know, had a little pillow set up right here because I was underneath there for so goddamn long. Anyways, that's in. Welded, all fucking cleaned up. Look at the party I had. Good Lord. Now we're going to get into here. More grinding. Yippee! Grind this lip all the way flush with this lower control arm hanger, I guess you could call it. And then put a bead in there and then grind it smooth again. So we'll do that real quick. All right, let's start this grinding part. Okay, here we are. Here is the seam I was referring to. You can see all the way, fuck, that's still hot. All the way around there. A nice little seam is formed because I've ground it all down to where it's flush with this hanger. Don't worry, I'm going to clean all this up and wire wheel it and paint it all, but I'm going to put a bead in here and then grind it all smooth again. All right, let's get this thing welded up. Alrighty, got the seam burnt in. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but hey, once I grind her flush, no one will know the difference. Yeah, let's get to grinding again. There she is. She's all ground smooth. See, I can run my hand around this whole entire bag pocket, I guess you could call it, and nothing's grabbing my fingers, no sharp edges. That's what you want, so this bag isn't rubbing or touching anything. Can't be out stunting on these hoes and have a bag pop. That's whack. Also took a little more material off of this bracket so the control arm doesn't hit. The tie rod notch is done. We really just need to, I gotta figure if I'm running shocks or not, first of all. Might have to do that. Maybe that'll be our next video, mounting shocks. I think they go like up here, and the stone fab control arms already have a mount for it, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, let me get this pigsty of a garage cleaned up real quick. Alrighty, garage is all cleaned up. I think that wrapped up our video. I think we're done. We got the tie rod notch done, the bag pocket all cleaned up. Let's check that out again. Yeah, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Next video, we're either going to tackle the headers, get rid of this exhaust, or we're going to do the brakes because I have an NBS master cylinder coming. Going to get rid of the bullshit ass ABS. Going to put a PV4 portioning valve in there because I'm going to be doing disc brakes in the rear on this. We got to repaint those calipers. I got a rebuild kit coming for those, and eventually put all this shit in. Shout out to Switch Suspension for all that. But yeah, that's going to do it for the first ever Rat Trap Garage video. Thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out. Let me get a like, let me get a subscribe, and let's keep this motherfucker going. All right, see you later.